All right, gonna launch the Cat 4s. Chief referee says we're ready to go. You're gonna go into his whistle. We'll say riders ready. And off racing third event of the day.
Well, yeah, and you know, if nothing else, what I really enjoy, and pretty much my favorite video of all time is watching guys from behind. So I'm really excited about this.
There are some good-looking guys in this field.
There are. Look at the speed mullet on the bro in front of us right here. The aerodynamics flowing off his head. That guy's a sure finish top three.
Top three. You know, this is day 3 and maybe day 4. I think it's day 3, and you definitely start recognizing who the hitters are and that group. And before the race started, we started kind of talking a little bit with finishers that were in the top 10, 15, and we wanted to keep it fast. The first couple races were people would get up, push the pace, then someone would get to the front and not want to do any work. I didn't get the best start, but look at me.
Look at you tracking up on the outside there, right?
I knew what was happening. And
yeah, you're like, oh, hold on a second. I am a little, you know what? That guy I said had speed mullet. Also, if you saw how his numbers were pinned, bad sign. That was a bad wheel, and you're now moving up. That outside looks a little sketchy, though. You pushed it a little wide there, and you're coming back in. Big U-turn. Nice.
Big U-turn. You know, an interesting thing before the race started where I did go outside right there, I was pre-riding the course, and there were some tree branches hanging down low. I went by, and I bent them in and took them apart because I was like,
Brent was like, this is going to be a line for me.
This is where I'm going. They had to move a couch and some mirrors on the side. It's a little sketchy that side. There was that new paved roundabout with some chalk. So this chalk, you see in the roundabout.
There's some rough edges as you're going. This looks pretty smooth through here.
Yeah, except for that pothole
boom,
right
back into it, right in the manhole cover.
Right in the exit.
So, outside right there looks kind of gnarled up.
Yeah, you know, this corner in particular right here, this hard right into, notice my line versus everybody else's.
Yeah, you stay out of that business.
I don't go over the bricks, and I was debating, everybody was cutting the corner. It was rough.
Oh, nice corner there. See, like you didn't have, what was nice there is you didn't have any gap open to the guys in front of you, right? So that whole corner, your distance stayed consistent. So you carried good momentum into that line and came out right on this dude's wheel. He looks like he was like 6'7".
This guy in front of me still following on Strava. Great guy. He's strong. I knew he was strong. He just doesn't have that kick at the very end.
Yeah.
And I knew he would.
That's a good wheel to follow. You made a good choice.
Great wheel to follow. you know, and some of my race tactics here is I'm okay with the gap opening up slightly. And if someone wants to do the work to close down a small little gap, I definitely will just slot right in behind them.
Well, even as you know, there's like I always consider the first 10 to 15 minutes of a crate where everyone's kind of feeling each other out, and it's intense, and you can get real active and burn a lot of matches, or you can keep it smooth. Like right here, he's out of the saddle hammering, and you're just flowing right with him as he comes up on the back of this group here. So a gap open, but you had a draft the whole way up there, whereas he had a gap to go.
Yeah, and I recognized this guy was strong. He would close that gap down.
Yeah.
He let plenty of gaps open, but he would also close it down.
He closed it down, so you'd have a little free ride back up to there. Now you're coasting early into this corner, run on his wheel.
Definitely. You know,
and then you almost hit that manhole cover again.
Yeah. This is we're pushing the pace pretty quick through here. You see my heart rate, you know, it's in it's in that threshold category, and there's some power get put out, and it's single file. You know, that's when you know it's going fast.
Well, through a corner like that, there's no way you're going to be, across, especially a big turn like this. He's taking some chances being that inside and pedaling like that too.
It was if for that, you know, you could pedal through or you could not pedal through. It was all
Here
these little small
free
gaps.
Ride to the front. See, Brent, good job. The gap opened. He saw it.
You probably heard me yell to you when I said something, and you know the first few laps of their race was fast.
Well done on them right there. Right. So the big gap opened. You didn't freak out.
No.
Some guys kind of fell back, and you just stayed on this dude's wheel because you picked a good wheel, right? And that's important in a criterium, especially once you start knowing the different players. Is you pick the right wheel, it can make it a lot easier. You pick the wrong wheel, and you're chasing the whole time. Yeah. Man, look at this turn. And look at that. Come through a little late apex, and you're coming out straight through, ready to pedal a little quicker.
Yes. And at this point, I don't have my rear camera up. Kind of philosophy of video editing. I think we'll probably have a selection here, maybe 15
It
people.
feels like it, because there was about a group of 8 or 9 that this guy bridged you up to after that gap, and it looks like it's running pretty. I mean, you're consistently, right now you're coasting, but you're consistently in the mid to high 300s, 400 watt range.
Yeah, and they're still pressing the pace. And right here on the left, there's some Tulsa people, and that came up to the race as well. Got some tools going off in the background.
Yeah. Somebody fell down a flight of stairs there. No, he cuts it that time.
Yeah, they started cutting it, but I said, no, this is my line. I'm okay with that. I can carry the speed. If I'm not going to the bumps, I'm not losing that speed. And
it feels like the entry into that corner is better if you don't take the bricks.
The pros weren't.
Yeah.
In the higher level categories, I don't think they were. I think sometimes they were just to protect lines.
Yeah. Well, because there's like the time, and this is something that Nemo Cockrell, that used to race with us at Bike Club a lot, he had done a lot of motorcycle racing. And so one of the best advice I ever got is don't get trapped with thinking you have to always take the best or the time trial line. He goes, at certain times you have to take the protected line, which is not going to be as efficient, but you're not going to lose your position.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, another speed mullet goes by the wayside.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Yeah.
That was the guy that you called out earlier.
Yeah.
He said he had a halfway decent pinup job. So
Halfway.
yeah, here I am sitting in fifth wheel. I think there's a couple of tacks. I go because RJ keeping it fast.
That's the motorcycle there. That's the front. So you're up there doing some work.
Yeah, I attacked the field whenever the split was starting to slow down. We still had some people on our tail. I didn't want to slow down, so I wanted to drive the pace and make everybody else work.
Yeah, heart rate up to 183. Big push, nice line, putting everybody outside of that manhole cover. That's the fastest you've gone through that corner so far.
Yep. I take the whole road. I'm a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, so I do have to carry that little wider line through here.
Here we go. Here's your choice of line. So you keep it. There you go. Nice and close. A little bit of a preset, and then you're already into your turn early.
I'm wide enough to where I can still pedal, and I'm not on the inside line there, keeping 180, and then I keep the pressure up here. Again, I wish I had that rear view camera, but I kind of.
You're gonna catch that motorcycle. Just keep going, man. You're gonna catch it. I mean, he's gapping you a little bit right now.
I set into a threshold tempo right here.
Okay.
I see them starting to catch, so I know I need to.
So this has been used solo off the front for a little bit. And then,
half a lap.
Yeah.
I don't know if I. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I knew I was getting caught, so I had to speed back up, and
Can you latch back into oh yeah, there you go. There's no rush to get back in. You got 4 there, 5.
Yeah, these guys are all strong. I'm not
Van
worried.
Dessel. That guy's on a Van Dessel.
What is that?
Van Dessel's a bike from the East Coast. They usually just made cyclocross bikes, but I didn't know they made like a performance road bike.
I mean, it could be a cyclocross bike.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looked pretty aero to me there.
So yeah, I after 3/4 of a lap solo, I slot back in about 5th, 6th wheel, and heart rate's still high. I know I want to recover, but I'm in a draft. Keeping the pace high. This is when I recognize we have a selection. So I'm probably yelling at everybody. I'm being very nice, trying to let people back in really smooth. I mean, he didn't take it, but RJ right here on the left.
And you're leaving a little outside the manhole cover because you're leaving some space for him to notch in, so you don't have to get quite. There you go. Yeah. There you go. You started the move, participating, but you're not yet in rotation.
No.
Does it end up being this selection, or do you think there's a couple
There were about 12 people in this selection. You'll see them all because I end up at the back and I just sit there.
You just sit there for a little bit.
Yeah. I did some work. I was on the front.
But look at the heart rate now. See, that's something is when you do a lot of training in your criterium race, you'll notice your heart rate's up. But sometimes you get kind of freaked out and you'll want to cut the power immediately to recover. But what you're learning here is that you can still stay at a sub-threshold level with a higher heart rate, and you just have to be patient for it to come down. It will. You don't lose position.
Definitely. And skipping pools like this, letting this guy right back in, being the nice guy.
Right there,
no, I'm
like,
the nice guy. I'm not skipping pools. I'm letting him in.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking back.
Have you yet complimented this guy? Because that's a Tony trick. This guy's like riding really well. He said, dude, God damn, you're riding so well right now. You're killing it, man.
I probably have. I don't know about during this race.
They eat that up, man.
But I definitely remember you telling me this a few times, so I definitely took advantage of that.
You can be very positive and also do less work.
Yeah. So
nice. So this guy kind of gaps out of the corners. He's not carrying as much speed.
Yeah.
Because there's always a little bit of a gap in front of him. But again, he bridges that gap.
One thing I don't think I think I'm an average racer. After Chicago, I moved to Cat 3, but second year doing this, Wheeler, you have so many turns. You got to know how to take those turns.
You have to,
and you get pretty good at it. So, and even up in Tulsa, where they Bixby Elementary, there's a lot of little left and rights. It's good practice for this stuff.
But this is a unique course. Having a big U-turn like this, where you're holding that position.
Every time.
See how you were gaining speed on him there, and you pushed it out so that you wouldn't go past him.
And look, he takes a look at look. He takes a look at me.
He's like,
I'm just sitting here.
What's the rating on this podcast? Are we PG-13 on this podcast?
I don't get many viewers, so you can do radar. Hold up, we got somebody coming in here, so PG-13 right now.
PG-13.
If you notice right here, I sat on his wheel until he flicked his elbow. Because I wasn't going to do any work until he was done.
Yeah.
So,
no, we're good. We can keep rolling.
That's fine. His elbow.
He did flick his elbow.
I'm on the front doing a pull. My goal was not to catch this guy.
No.
I am keeping
If that guy wants to be the solo hero, you let him be that solo hero.
The previous 2 races, there was a solo hero, and he kicked our ass.
Was it this guy?
No, it was not this guy. He the guy who went solo twice in a row, catted up, and Cat 3 then won his next Cat 3 race by going solo with their small group, actually.
If it's me and I'm at the front and you all did that to me, I'd be so pissed. Like, you assholes.
Yeah. So, just keeping the rotation fast. Everybody's working well together.
You're letting the whole crew kind of roll by you. Because everyone here is still a player.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about any wheel you're on here. It's just going to flow, and you can get a break, and the rest of these dudes can start to rotate in.
And multiple days racing with these people. There's this tent right here. We had some Tulsa people. I kind of mentioned that earlier. And they were yelling at me, and good job, and move up. And I love when people yell move up because that's the easiest thing to yell, but some of the hardest things.
Do you know my favorite heckle encouragement of all time is? It's from Paul Watkins. He was a big part of how Bike Lab started racing cyclocross. His son's killing it in Colorado right now. He would always say, if you can see him, you can catch him. And it was, at first you thought, yeah, I can. Until you realize, no, wait, I was on their wheel. And now I'm not. So that's one of my favorites. If you can see him, you can catch him.
That's great.
Mixing up a little bit here, got wide a little bit, people figuring out where they want to go.
Got a little wide, and I was definitely okay with this. This guy in the blue,
the Pro Socks?
Yeah, Pro Socks. He works for Rizon. He's from Germany,
nice.
So he was over doing some racing here. He won a Cat 5 race earlier in the series. And
it looks like he's great and ready to line up for the World Tour next week.
Oh, yeah. He's a great guy,
Yeah.
If I ever am in Germany, I will hit him up.
Yeah, absolutely hit him up.
But my strategy right here, I know this group is a selection.
So I get the sense. Your wattage is consistently, 300s at 400s as you surge, and heart rate's still a little high. But in this part of the race here, are you sensing that uncomfortable?
Yeah, I am.
Because you're not in any kind of hurry. Like, this could be read 2 different ways, right?
Yeah.
If somebody else is kind of moving towards the back, having these gaps start to open, it could be they're struggling, right, and they're fighting. But it seems that you're just kind of comfortable letting them kind of figure it out. You don't feel like the front's out of reach.
Definitely not.
Okay.
I was very comfortable. One thing is, this tent full of Tulsa people. Then you had Brendan over there.
Yeah, the mustache. Well, that's when Brendan was a man and had a mustache.
Yeah. Man, when he was, okay.
When he was, yeah. I don't know now.
I would go by him. They'd be yelling, words of encouragement. I'd just be smiling ear to ear because I was super happy with where I
you're
was
licking
in
your
this
chops
spot.
right now. Look at this guy, though.
Yeah, this guy, super strong. Not the motor that needs to be there. He will go if do an effort, then gas out.
Well, you can tell here, right here, he's on his limit. The way he's pedaling, when they start to bounce like that, it looks like the knees hyperextending a little bit.
This is fit. Tony the Fit Master coming in here.
Well, it's not even fit. Like, you got to learn to read bodies as you're racing, and right there you can tell from how he's pedaling. He's kind of, there's not as much technique as there is just kind of like last second force throwing into each pedal stroke. So once you see that, you're like, okay, if a big gap opens, this guy's a problem.
Yeah. I was as you mentioned earlier, I was very comfortable where I was. I was smiling here. My heart rate looks high, but that's 170s.
No, like,
at 170s.
just from watching heart rate, when you're over 180, 181, 183, that's when you're all in. You could probably only hold that for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Once you're back in these 170s, that's your sub-threshold, but your active racing heart environment, you're just going to stay there the whole time.
Yeah, well, around 175, 176 is over that. I have limited time in that space.
So as you have you gotten to the point yet in your racing? So I mean, you're hitting these corners a bunch, but you only hit it that one time when you were solo at the front a little bit faster. Have you started to get to the practice of studying these corners in preparation for the final 2 laps?
I don't think I've gotten that far necessarily, not into the fine weeds. I have definitely located places where I think is a place I'm going to have to move up on the last lap,
okay,
or make sure I'm in a certain position,
yeah,
and identifying those areas. Through a corner, probably not. I did study the exit of this corner though.
Well, yeah, because that's your big exit, right?
Yes. If you notice,
big train. Look at the big train going.
Yeah. Everybody's just dieseling along here, and people started trying to send attacks, but everybody was strong enough in this group to know better, and shut it down. So if you notice when we hit this corner, it is a double apex. You can take it as one corner or 2 corners. I prefer to kind of take this outside line.
Yep, you come out and you come back in on it, whereas they turn, correct turn.
But if you look right, no one wants to go over this. There's a tiny little curve. The pros were going way out wide. There's a little drop off.
Right.
And I knew that was available.
Well, and that's what you think about. Like, if you're going to go a little hotter into a corner, you got to know where it's going to run into, right? Like, it's going to take you longer to get through that curve. So in this course, what I see is there's a big pinch point at this bottom right kind of shoehorn, right? So if it's last lap and you're sitting any more than 6 or 7 people back there, unless you got a lot in the tank, the amount of energy you're going to have to expend on that top right flat to get into the front is going to be a lot.
Well, we'll watch and see what plays out.
We'll see.
Tony has not seen this.
No, I haven't seen it. But this is a pinch point here, so this could be a way, like in the last lap, you could create a lot of pressure. But it could also be where a lot of gaps form. So like right now, you can't even see the front of the group as you're coming through here, but you do have this giant long straight before the big turn.
And this was a headwind, slight headwind through here on this back straight.
Right shoulder or left shoulder?
Probably a little bit from left to right. So you can see we echelon a little bit. And I always try to, I learned that at Wheeler with those 25 mile per hour
that sets,
winds.
like, they're giving you all kinds of room there. That sets up a huge launch gateway to have a ton of coverage launching all the way along the right side of the road.
You know what I noticed this whole race was no one was riding over their Tony.
Yeah.
Everybody went to the middle of the road. It's a little bit smoother.
But yeah, if you're trying to really launch into a finish, if you can get that left to right wind, and you have that right. So now see the right side there's some grass and stuff, and this is where you broke off the branches, right?
It was at the intersection, but yeah. In this corner,
here, push wide.
If you're going,
you're all the way out to the
there's
right.
not much room for too wide through there.
No.
Definitely not with our skill levels in Cat 4. We can't handle our bikes that well. So,
yeah, I would even stay wide into that last corner. Stay wide. Go push harder into it later, and then come through out apex super late because no one's using that extra field over there.
Yeah.
And then that way you're coming through a little hotter, you're on top of your pedal strip quick.
Yeah, I was kind of, when I was pre-riding this course, I was trying to identify how I wanted to take that corner, and it was I wanted the apex on that late apex, and that's safer.
Yeah.
And then lets you track out a little bit better and put the power down quicker.
But the danger with any corner, right? Like right now where you're positioned, if anyone crashes in front of you, you're done because it's centrifugal force. Once they crash, they move outwards. So it's a smoother line as long as you know the riders. But if you get to last lap, you got to kind of roll the dice on. If someone eats it in that last turn and they slide outward, that's the end of my day.
Yep.
So that's always the chance and the risk you're looking at if you're allowing people to be in front of you going into the last turn.
And I probably was
Oh, look at it here. Everyone got tired.
Well, yeah, I'm pushing 100 watts, and I moved up. Someone decides to keep up the pace.
Yeah. Everyone just decided to take this is like they're passing out orange slices. It's halftime.
Do you want to take a second and notice who was at the very front when it all slowed down? Is your big boy who was not pedaling very efficiently.
Yeah.
He was tired.
Booty bouncer up there. Couldn't quite pull it through.
booty bouncer like that.
Yeah, he's giving us a little action there.
Yeah. If you notice this, Tony, I'm still at the very back.
Yeah.
I'm still at the back.
No, you only do this if you feel capable and you're chill and you realize. And here's your boy here that's been doing a lot of work on the right side.
Yeah. For some reason, I decided to start moving up, and I put down some power for some reason. I don't know what I was.
Well, this
thinking
guy's
at the
kind of
time.
doing a little bit of something, and we're getting to we're 3/4 of the way into the race here. So probably getting into your last 10 minutes?
Yeah, definitely
10 minutes.
last 10 minutes.
Last 6 laps, 7 laps?
6 laps, yeah.
So this is, it's smart to kind of get out of the fray because everyone's tired.
Yeah.
If there's going to be gaps that form and mistakes that happen, it's going to start to happen here. And one less person in front of you is one less crash to get into.
Yeah. And
he went way wide there.
Yeah, this guy, he's 18 years old. Him and I were neck and neck in some of these races.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I out-sprinted him on day 2 for second place, and then he out-sprinted me on day 3 for second place.
You got to work on that sprint, bro.
Well, we'll talk after this one. And so there's some strong rides.
Guy at that right, he's pedaling squares on the right there a little bit, trying to find his way back in.
And RJ up here in the donut jersey, sprinkles jersey. I'm sorry, out of California. One thing we haven't mentioned yet is the temperature up here.
Oh, what's the temp right now?
It's end of July in Chicago. We're sitting at like 83, 84 degrees, maybe up to 87, nice and cool after a hot summer in Oklahoma. And these Cali boys come in and start putting ice packs on. And
they're smoked.
I thought I might just wear a long sleeve jersey just to
mess with.
Wear
like a neck scarf.
Like, guys, you guys have your knee warmers on yet? Or?
Yeah, pretty chill.
Love
if he's drinking water, what he's saying to you is,
I'm done.
Not just I'm done, but like anyone that wants to take it can take it. I'm just up here until someone else is.
Yeah, you see my heart rate 178, 180. I wasn't going to do anything.
No, not at all.
I'm still happy where I am. Second wheel, I'm way too up front.
And it's, what? Sometimes it's kind of being this far up means you can't respond to an attack, which can feel dangerous. But on the bottom side of this course, you don't have to worry about it because no one can get past you. It doesn't matter what you do through here. No one's going to pass you in this big turn section. So if you're going to chill at the front and get some wind back before it hypes up, it's a great place to pull.
Yeah.
And great place to pull and recover.
I'm down and recovered, maybe hit 169, yeah. And I do take a pull, with 5 laps left.
Look at him.
I'm not a lazy sprinter.
You're like, you know what? We should take a breather. But again, this is dangerous because someone could launch on you.
Well, you
can't see anything happening.
Yeah, and this is definitely where experience comes in play. I'm not doing an easy pull, so I'm trying to keep the power up and the pace up fast enough to where people are a little bit discouraged, but it's also
here we go.
Yeah,
you're just rolling. If anyone wanted to go past you, they could. It's just once you get into the final part of a race like this sort of position, if you find yourself there, finding yourself in the technical bit of it, knowing your racers, knowing the people around you is important, but you also you're going to have the worst possible response to anything that goes by because you're the last one to pedal if they attack you.
Yeah, definitely.
You're the last one to surge. Everyone else sees it, and it's not until it flies by you hit boom, right there.
Well, I pulled off the front.
Yeah.
I flicked my elbow, said, this is not my spot, guys.
Wait, let's put the lap counters. Can we see the lap counter?
Yeah, should be top right.
Oh, no, yeah.
You can see it really well, but
3.14 repeating.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have about 6.5 minutes left. I'm going to say 4 laps. 4 laps. 4 laps. Oh, look, the Cat 5 Omnium winner, no mustache. I don't know if that makes him look older or younger.
It's just a lot of estrogen in here right
now. All right,
so they're cutting corner, you're still not. Oh, we got our boy back.
Yeah, my boy. I know Brian from South Carolina. Again, I did my little pull. I'm gonna just.
So you're just lying in wait right now to kind of see what will develop.
Yeah, I'm recovering, watching. See if
with
anything
the big
attacks.
straightaway here, you can kind of let that more bodies in front of you thing kind of happen a little bit. Especially if it's going to slow down like this. And now, see, you're in the perfect position to launch something. Mm-hmm. So everyone at the front right now, you see him jumping right here, responding. But if you wanted to do something, though, this is the spot to be in. Because after you get, it's almost 100 feet to the front of the group, which gives you 100 feet to build up speed and launch off the front with way more exit speed than the front can even respond.
Yeah. This was, I can't remember what day it was. Day 3, day 4.
Oh, here we go. We got Booty Bouncer back.
Yeah, look at him.
Look how arrow he is.
Look, he was ducking the corner, doing 20 mile per hour corners.
But see, like, look, high cadence. He's got no power at the bottom. This guy's not gonna. He's the last person to finish out of this group.
Hey, I'm taking a peek, moving my bike out around the corner, and I'm just chilling. I'm not.
3 to go. Looking at 3 to go coming through here.
Yeah. One thing with this is racing is confidence, right, Tony? And knowing, hey, I'm highly confident. One thing I noticed in this corner is no one was going out really wide.
No.
Everybody was staying left of the white lines,
which means they either had to cut their momentum to make it through.
Yeah. So,
or they were gonna, if they go in tight like that, they're gonna push out to the manhole cover. Whereas if you go wide, come in, you miss the manhole cover and come through clean.
Yep. So if I can carry as much exit speed as
you're
possible.
real confident right now, bro. have you pedaled this lap?
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, I get passed by everybody, and
you're still holding enough speed through the corners that you have to push it out wide.
Doing 28 miles per hour. You know, there's not.
I would be nervous if it was 3 to go and this was me. I'd be a little nervous. Tony would be, maybe 4 or 5 more spots kind of tucked up in.
There was this hill coming up, and this whole series, I was able to move up pretty easily for where I needed to, so providing me confidence, and I was able to move.
And time is distance too, so sometimes you start to have to redo the math. I think sometimes in crits when you're doing this, I get lulled to sleep on being efficient and smooth, and I don't really wake up the fact that the race is finishing, and I need to ride very differently.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one of the first times you took this corner 2, 3,
your
4
heart rate,
wide.
though.
Oh man,
yeah,
I was happy.
You're licking your chops right now because these guys are still pedaling like it's hard.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, I know, like we're going 20 miles an hour, guys.
Yeah, 165,
Yeah, the guys you're around right now are happy to be there, but none of them are going to win. They're just trying to stay.
Yeah, the guy on the blue bike, he's
pretty good. He's that kid.
He's finished around 5th quite often, actually. Yeah. So this is when I knew I needed to start moving up.
Yeah, so no one's going wide. You go up wide, knowing it's going to push wide. So this is a riskier move. Again, someone hits that manhole cover.
You're right.
You're done. But you've been watching, and they're not ripping it right now. So you're starting to move up. We're like 7th wheel. Looks like
that. Yeah,
and you're like, okay,
people are fighting for position a little bit. And I take this. I cut one of the bricks because the guy
somebody in your left. Yeah, you had to.
So I wasn't going to push him. I try not to be that person while racing. Naturally, people swing back out wide, and I use that as an advantage. Try to see where people are going to end up.
Well, yeah, the outside exit on that one isn't in the in-turn protected line to the next.
Yes. Then look at me sitting in this draft with the left to right.
It's left to right win, everybody. So as they push it, oh, here's our boy.
In the yellow,
here we go. He's tired. Look at all the work. Good job. You should pat him on the back. Man, you did great today. Good job, buddy.
I think I've told him that a couple times after race. I'm like, man,
by the way,
thanks for dragging me around.
Zone 2.
Yeah, so here I am.
7th wheel still. 7th wheel, inside moves happening.
This Cleveland guy's strong on the white bike.
The Van Dessel.
Yeah, half these people are like 16 to 18 years old.
That's how it is in Intelligentsia Cup. You get all these junior squads that show up, and they might be Cat 4, Cat 3, Cat 2, but man, they can throw almost an endless amount of attacks.
So this,
all right, here we go.
This may be one to go here. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're sitting 6th wheel.
I'm putting down some power, but just holding my spot. It's not much. I'm on a little bit on the wind.
This is the tailwind section, right? It goes from headwind to tailwind.
Last lap.
Here we go.
All right, Tony.
You see that guy? Oh, look at that guy. With the quad Z, baby.
Yeah, a little early.
Well, look at him. He can't carry his speed well because he was too inside.
Yeah.
If he'd gone on the right side and launched, he could have cut it in.
Now we're doing 500-600 watts out of these corners, keeping it. Now we're doing 29, 30 miles per hour.
Look at this. You let some space be open because you've been rolling up on people the whole time. Mm-hmm. So you leave that space open so you can push a little bit more and carry your speed.
Look at this. Look at me carry right. I pass this guy
right onto his wheel. Right. So that's a really good skill set to let a little gap open.
I didn't have to do 700 watts.
Right back on the draft. Yeah, that was fantastic.
And I am open.
All right, come on, dude. There's someone out the front. You gonna win this race?
I'm watching what's going to happen.
Someone's off the front.
These two guys on the left are sprinters. Watch this.
That guy in front of you is trying to knit a sweater.
Bang.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, what do they say? First to last corner or what?
Last corner. All right.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
You guys can suck it.
They slowed up.
They can't get past you. You're gonna go late. Go wide.
Stop pedaling. breathe to the corner.
Wide.
186.
You're making it one turn, not two. Don't have to push it wide.
Take it
Dude,
to
you're
the
right
curb.
on it.
Here I go. I go, not the max power pedal. I just sprinted twice, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to have a 1700 watt sprint to dominate somebody. You just need to use it at the right time.
The heart rate. I am gassed. Max heart rate, 34 miles per hour.
Well, so even you really were practicing those lines, right? So
Yeah.
you going out wide and coming in and making that double apex turn, a single apex turn, meant those guys that came in too narrow had to cut their brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Even as they were coming on that final lap, and you didn't have to at all.
Yeah. To that last corner, there were, I think, two. It was me and the guy next to me that for bike tour who could win that race.
Yeah. Well done, Brent. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Only win.
Well, you know what? A win at Intelligentsia Cup was a big deal.
Yeah, it was cool. 45.
You can work up to the old man status of winning a Cat 2 race. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Tony.
Yeah, no problem, Brent. This was awesome.
We'll do more.
Yeah.
Thanks.